newsletter exclusively for Bhakti Sanga for this month of July. So before moving on to the interview, I would like to give brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhu is His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhu has come to Krishna consciousness in 2004, and he has earned an MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. And Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010, and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhakti Vedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav courses. He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gauravilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining us today with your and giving us your valuable time and association for this interview, Prabhuji. Welcome to the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji, as a part of this interview, we would like to know how was your path in this Krishna consciousness movement, and you said that you have done your MBBS degree also, right? At that time, at point of your doing your degree itself, you came into Krishna consciousness, or how it is, Prabhu?
Thank you, Madhavi, for this opportunity to serve and just share my experiences in Krishna consciousness. It was way back in 2004 when I took admission in medical college in Mumbai, and it was like a typical student, not so inclined to anything about spiritual life, just little bit whatever a pious Hindu family does. So I was into studies. I would study a lot, and when I came in JJ Medical College in Mumbai, people, some seniors, they would come and they would call us for the program. In that time, His Grace Gauranga Prabhu, he would come to our JJ Medical College for preaching. So I never went for around 8-10 months. I would see my friends going, and they would tell me, "Oh, acha, it was a nice program, and Prasad was very good." And as a typical student, I would tell, "Okay, next time now when you go, you just tell me when the program ends. I'll come for Prasad." So that was how I came to spiritual life. I started having little interest for the Prasad. So that was the attraction for students generally, in India. Most of the students, they come for, okay, at least we'll get some nice Prasad. And that time, Gaurang Prabhu and few more devotees, they would come and they would get, ISKCON khichdi and pineapple butter halwa. So it was a delicacy. So one day, Gaurang Prabhu came, and he came little, he was getting late, so he came without getting prasad. So he told one more devotee that you get prasad later. So one of our batchmates, he asked when Gaurang Prabhu entered the hostel, he said, "Prabhuji, today we have come alone or what?" Prabhuji said, "No, prasad is coming." He said, "Okay, Prabhuji, then please come. So that was, our, that's how we were only looking for, good prasad. And then after, 8-10 months, I shifted to another hostel where the program was conducted. So I thought maybe, well, I should go also. And then I started, attending. And gradually, it was nothing, very astonishing thing. No mind-boggling changes in my life that made me a devotee. It was just, a regular. Somebody called us and we started going, and that's how we got interested. Seeing other devotees, seeing the seniors. I would see my seniors, they would chant also and they would study nicely. We had very good, wonderful seniors. So that association impacted. Seeing the good students who are practicing spiritual life. That's how I started going, because I was, into studies only. being the toppers in my school, always, I was not so much interested in anything else. So that's what impacted me. Oh wow, there are few senior devotees, students who are also very wonderful, practitioners of spiritual life. They are good in their academics. That's how I slowly got attracted to Krishna consciousness, and then I started chanting. And good thing was, when I was chanting one round, that was like insignificant. So seniors, they would introduce me, oh, this first year student is chanting one round, and I would feel, wow, wait, mala kar raha hu, I am chanting one round. So that's how, by constant encouragement and seeing the ideals, slowly I got into Krishna consciousness, and then I attended a Bhagavad Gita course, Journey of Self-Discovery course. That time Gaur Gopal Prabhu, he would conduct in the temple. So our JJ hospital is very close to Radha Gopinath Mandir, Chapati. It is like 10 minutes. So I attended that program, that 6 days course. It was like after 10 months of starting my chanting. And then when the program ended, the last day, I thought maybe I should start chanting 16 rounds. So from that day on, I've chanted 16 rounds every day. It is like I can remember the date, I think 24th February 2006. That was the day when the Journey of Self-Discovery course ended. And since then on, things are going on uh, into this process. So that's how I came to Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Very nice, Prabhu, to hear. So, yes, that's why Prabhupada has introduced this Prasadam thing. So, whoever it is, they will come into this moment through Prasadam. So, very nice to hear, Prabhu. And you were saying about like your first day of chanting, right? So, it was insignificant. So, what do you mean by that, Prabhu?
Yeah, first day when I started chanting, when I attended the first program, the devotee would come and he just gave bead bags and beads to all the students right in the first program. And I just took the bead bag and I kept it in my room and never looked at it. It was there in my bag for 10 months because I was thinking, oh, my hostel is little far from the place where it was conducted. You know how far it was? Only 100 meters. You know. So I was thinking, oh, it is so far. I will waste lots of my time walking there. So when I shift to that hostel, then I'll start chanting. So after 10 months or so, we shifted to that hostel. And then the day one I shifted, next day morning, I went for chanting. It was like 6:30 in the morning, I still remember. And I saw a few devotees, they were cleaning the room. And then we have a hostel room, and some students, they give their room for conducting japa session and all that. So that's how the first experience of chanting was. I saw many devotees coming together, many students coming together and chanting. So that's how I slowly got interested. It was nothing miraculous. It happened gradually. And the best part was the classes of Gaurang Prabhu. When he would come, from that moment he would start till the moment the class ends, you would be just laughing. Like you would just keep making us laugh, and he would just fall down on the ground laughing sometimes. So that was those are the memories of our JJ Medical College preaching. So that's how slowly the chanting has increased, the taste, not taste, the commitment, the determination to chant increased in my life. Hare Krishna. And most one very, very interesting thing I still remember. What is really has really impacted me. I had just started chanting. I took admission in August 2004. I started chanting in February or March 2005, just one round. And we had our university exams in May. I was just chanting one round or so that time. And we had one very senior boy. He was like intern, like 5 years senior to me. Very wonderful devotee. His name is Raghunath Priya Prabhu. Currently, he's an orthopedician. So that time he had just done his MBBS, and I was just first year boy chanting one round, that too not so regularly. And on the day of my exam, this devotee comes with a plate of breakfast to my room. And I was shocked that he is so senior. You know how seniors are, they are into ragging. Now it has reduced much, but they want to exploit and they will put you to work. But when I saw he is intern and he is getting plate of prasad for me, I still remember it was poha and milk. So that was like really amazing. So all these impressions, they create a wonderful memory in the heart. And that's how these small things, they have kept us in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so that's nice. That's nice to hear, Prabhuji. And you were saying about JJ Medical College, right?
Yeah.
So, but it is given as Grant Medical College. Both are same,
JJ
Prabhu?
Hospital. Yeah.
JJ
JJ is the
Hospital.
hospital. And the
Hospital. Okay.
medical connected to the hospital is Grant Medical College. So it is the
Ah,
same thing.
so
JJ
from the
Hospital and
medical
Grant.
college, they take you to the hospital for practicing.
It
Is
is
it like that?
same campus.
Same
Same
campus.
campus, different hospital. It is known as JJ Hospital, and the college is known as the Grant Medical College.
Okay.
So it is the same campus. So people, they generally know by JJ Hospital. The college is Grant College. Yeah, like that.
So there were devotees in the hospital. That's what you were saying, right? And
Yes,
with
yes.
you also in the hostel.
Yes, Gaurangru, he started preaching in JJ Medical College all the way, in 1994 back. So from then on, he is preaching, and then many more devotees joined, and some of them, they moved on to other services. Gaurangru continued from 94 to 2008, and then he got busy in Govardhan Eco Village project, and then he stopped coming. He would come once in a year for Janmashtami. Now also he comes. Now I go to JJ Medical College to preach Bhagavad Gita and all those classes I take there. So preaching is going on, and we had very wonderful devotees. We have our Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mumbai, which is another project by Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So there are many doctors from JJ. They are devotees. They are working there. So it was a wonderful experience to see many senior students, well qualified scholar, taking to spiritual life. So that's how all these things inspired us.
Okay, so very nice, Prabhu. And you were saying that Gauranga Prabhu came and he took the classes, right? So, and you were listening to the classes. So, if you want to say what is the one thing that you got inspired of Gauranga Prabhu class, and from that you must have thought, okay, I can take this process. So you must have got inspired of something, right? Anything you remember? Anything about that?
What would inspire me was the way Guruji would present the Bhagavad Gita, topics in a very, very practical way and a humorous way, quoting lots of verses, lots of shlokas. That's how I got, interested. When I would hear from him, he would keep on quoting so many verses, and I would just make notes, and that's how I would get inspired to memorize those verses. And the best part that everyone would like was, he would make everyone laugh, and it's like Krishna consciousness would go very easily with those laughs. We would not even realize that when we were transformed laughing. So that's how Gaurang Prabhu is. He's expert in connecting to everyone, students, working professionals, congregation. So that was the beauty of his presentation. And he was like very, very easily available. Of course, later he became a little busy, but that's how just seeing him being absorbed. One time, I remember he was having fever, and some sore throat, and still he came. He gave the class, and then he was telling, I thought I should take association of all of you. So you were like thinking, wow, he's such a senior devotee, like coming since last 20 years. So that's how humbly he uh, presented himself and inspired everyone to be the same. The way he was dedicatedly coming. One time it was really raining heavily, and if you know, Mumbai means very heavy rains, and there was no way you can travel by road. Although it is just 10 minutes from temple, so he took a train from the local station. He went. The Grand Road is the local station here. From here, he went to Dadar. Then Dadar, he took another train to Sanders Road, which is like little near JJ Hospital. Then from there, he walked for 10 minutes. So, all those things they inspired when we saw the commitment and hard work he was doing just to bring all of us, just to inspire all of us. So those things they are like highlight memories in our life.
Very,
Right.
very wonderful. Nice to hear, Prabhu. So yes, of course, yeah. In Krishna consciousness, we have nice encouragement from senior devotees that keeps us to go progress in our spiritual path. Also, that's the great thing we have got through Prabhupada. So thank you for sharing that memories from Gauranga Prabhu. And yeah, so you started your journey in 2004. So then uh, from when you started to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and how you present your class, Prabhu. So because we see your classes are really so power packed with all the with all the shlokas from the shastras, and also with all the pastimes also. So how you relate and how you do your homework for the classes? Do you do, or you just spontaneously give the classes? And how have you studied, learned the scriptures?
Yeah, so actually the regular study started for me, it started in when I joined temple, because as you may be knowing, medical studies are very hectic, very intense syllabus. For engineering, as they move ahead, when they go to second year, third year, final year, they become little relatively, available. They have some little more time. But for medical syllabus, it is completely opposite. We become more and more busy. So we didn't need much time. We just read the basic books. We would read Radheshyam Prabhu's, Discover Yourself, and those, the basic books which he had written that time. They were the basis of our Krishna consciousness. That's how we learned. Apart from hearing from Gaurang Prabhu and Gaur Gopal Prabhu, we learned the wonderful basis of philosophy from those books written by Radheshyam Prabhu. Apart from that, I was not so much into reading, Bhagavad Gita systematically that time. But then when I joined, because I was a person who would, you can call a bookworm. I would just study, and study, nothing else. No sports, nothing. You know, my friends would laugh at me. After the exam, everybody would come and they would play, and I would come and I would start reading. You know, and people would make fun of me. What are you doing? People are enjoying life and you are reading again. Just thoda to maza kare yaar life mein. So that was I. So reading was my nature, but somehow I didn't get time so much. But when I joined temple, I started reading. I did my VTA Vaishnava Training Academy. That was like when working students they can join temple. They stay in temple. Still, it is a course which happens in our Radha Gopinath temple. So that time I started studying Bhagavad Gita and then Bhagavatam gradually. And then, yeah, one thing I did when I was in JJ, I did my Bhakti Shastri. So in that way, I did my study of Bhagavad Gita and all the four books when I was in medical college. But for students, for medical students, writing exam is not a big thing. Just study some questions and get the answers and just memorize some things. And then I had studied, but I had read Bhagavad Gita, did my Bhakti Shastri, but it was like just for the sake of giving exam, and I would attend Bhagavad Gita classes for sure. But as a typical student, I didn't have much in-depth knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that time and all those books. But then when I joined temple and I started studying, and I thought maybe I should do something about Bhagavad Gita because Bhagavad Gita looked very scary for me. People will think, oh, you have done Bhakti Shastri and you don't know what is there in Bhagavad Gita. Why this is like that? So with that, mindset, I thought maybe I should start teaching Bhakti Shastri. So then I started teaching Bhakti Shastri, and that's how for Bhakti Shastri, our bread butter was Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's classes. So he had all the Bhakti Shastri lectures. It is there on the YouTube. I would just read, make notes, hard work, hearing all each and everything, copying everything, transcribe. It was like transcribing every line. So that's how I started reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding slowly, and then I wanted to start reading Bhagavatam. I had completed my Bhagavatam once. I think in 2014, 15, I completed once. But it's still reading once is nothing. So then I thought maybe I should read Bhagavatam also. Then I started my Bhakti Vaibhav classes. So that's how, for a medical student, unless there is a sword dangling on the head, you don't study. So I thought maybe Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav classes, they are the impetus for me to study. And of course, I liked memorizing verses. So I would keep note of, I started reading Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I completed all that. Once I completed, and I would take note of some things and I would memorize. And that's how slowly I got into habit of memorizing verses. And regarding preparation of the classes, it was like hearing from devotees and whatever I would gather, I would make notes. So slowly I started putting things together. And about Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, which I quote many times in my classes, that I learned from Gaurang Prabhu. He would keep speaking so many pastimes of Prabhupada. So that inspired, that I also would make notes. So that's how I started reading Prabhupada pastimes. So this is how I have, developed myself. I don't give spontaneous classes. That is not me. Well, I like to present things in a systematic way. So that's how I speak whatever I have noted down. And of course, some things they come up spontaneously for sure. That happens. But most of the times it is, very systematically noted down and presented. So that's how I do things.
Here,
Arrange.
actually. Thank you for this. So very wonderful, Prabhu, actually, to hear. Um, so we have read the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in, I think, in short span of time. And yes, I was like when you said that you always keep on reading, you're a bookworm. I was like laughing at myself, like what I'm doing. So because before coming, I don't like to study at all. It was like I will be sitting doing something or the other work. But after when we started to read Prabhupada books, like it's like a journey, it's continuing. Okay, after this, what is there after this? So it's like going on. So that's how Prabhupada has given us. And so when you said that you always keep on reading, like I was like, then I thought, okay, I should improvise myself in somewhere. So like even now also I waste my time so much. If I read, like I just used to give some 40 minutes or 1 hour, then after that I'll just close it off and I will just be here. Because as a grasa, I do have so many things to do. So I feel
Yeah.
myself that I should improve. So what do you
Yeah.
would like to advise for the grahasas, Prabhu? That's what my question is.
Yeah. Yes. What I would like to advise is always have a desire. to read. Because when anything you want to do, if we have genuine, sincere desire, which you like to do, as you know, our Gaur Gopal Prabhu, he would always tell, there are some things which you are told to do, some things you have to do, and some things which you like to do. The things which you are, which you have to do, they sustain you in Krishna consciousness, our daily sadhana. Things which you are told to do, they nourish you in Krishna consciousness. When you follow the orders of the superiors, do your seva, that nourishes you. And when you do things which you like to do, that sustain you, that nourishes you, that will give you a motivation. Otherwise, if you just keep doing things which you are told to do or which you have to do, of course, have to do is not an option. That is what ultimately we have to grow from have to do to I like to do in chanting. But if we are doing the things which we are told to do, our seva in our Krishna consciousness, like management or book distribution or whatever we are doing, and if we are not doing the things which we like to do, then after some time, devotional service becomes little boring. So apart from doing the things which we are told to do, we should always do. Yes, in the beginning years of Krishna consciousness, 80% of our things should be which we are told to do. And then little bit we should do which we like to do. And then gradually, if you have a sincere, serious desire, then Krishna will give you right consciousness so that you don't compromise on your seva, but you also get to do which you like to do. Just like throughout my Krishna consciousness, when I joined temple, so many services are there. As a new devotee, I was into Krishna, I was into dress department because I had some skills of, designing, and designing means, doing some nice art. So then I was put there, and it was heavy, busy department. So I would read, I would go for some preaching, and I was reading in between, but that the desire was to read all day, and then where will I get time? So when the COVID started, we had nothing to do. So what I was doing was reading whole day and evening speaking online. And of course, because I was medical head here. I'm still medical head here and taking care of the sick devotees. So COVID was a very intense phase, keeping devotees safe. But still, whatever time I had, I would read all day, and then in the evening I would speak online classes. So that's how in the COVID, I spoke entire Bhagavatam once. Entire Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, NOD, everything was done once. So if we have sincere desire, that COVID became a benediction. So that's how when you just really sincerely desire something, then in some inconceivable ways, Krishna gives that opportunity. Of course, we should never ever compromise seva for our studies. Otherwise, seva will not. Otherwise, our studies will not become realization. Our knowledge will transform into realization only when we serve. यत् सेवया भगवता कूटस्थस्य मधुद्विष रतिरासो भवेत् तीव्र पादयोर्व्यसनार्दनः. That's what Vidurji tells Maitreya. Oh, Maitreya Muni, you have given me so much of information, so much of knowledge, but that knowledge will become realization by service. So seva and swadhyay both go together. So that is what I can tell. If we are sincere, seriously desiring for something, at the same time serving devotees, then for sure you will get to do what you like to do. You will get a chance to study if you have that desire. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that deep understanding. So whatever knowledge we get, we have to apply in the seva so that we can progress. Thank you so much for that understanding. And By what age, means like what year you took the sannyas? You took sannyas, right, Prabhu? So,
Sorry, I couldn't.
Prabhu, you from when you started to stay in temple, Prabhu, and you took sannyas, right?
Not sannyas yet. I've just joined brahmachari ashram here. Sannyas is
Okay.
a big thing. So I joined in 2010, when I did my MBBS in 2009, and then I did my VTA in 2009-10, and then I joined.
Okay.
So from 2010, I was there, and I worked for 1 year because there was a bond with the government. For after we did our MBBS, we have to serve the government. So I did 1 year of bond with the government, and then I joined temple. Since then on, I am here serving since 2010.
Okay.
I-
So, so how was your family? How was your family with you being in temple, Prabhu? Are they comfortable or how it is?
What do you think? They may be. They were not so happy. They were completely upset. Yes, it is everybody's same situation. When the son joins, I'm the only son. I have a sister.
Okay.
So they were really upset, but they were chanting by that time. When I
Mm.
started chanting, they also took to it. Very pious people, typical Indian Hindu family. They also took to it. They also were chanting. When I was in BTA, I welcomed Jagannath Baldev Subhadra at my home. So they were chanting, they were doing deity worship, but it was a really difficult phase for them. But somehow, things went on, and they allowed me to stay here all with a very heavy heart. And now, over a period of time, they have accepted it. They are they have moved to Mumbai only. Earlier, we were staying in some other town, another state. So now they have moved to temple. They are initiated. They both are initiated devotees.
Oh.
My mother
Mm.
chants 64 rounds. Father chants
Oh.
32. So like they are totally into it. DT worship, dressing the DTs. They are happy. They stay in Mira Road, like just next to the ISKCON temple. So every day they go to Mangalarti. They get up at 2:30 in the morning. They do Mangalarti at home, and then they go to temple and do Mangalarti. So that's why I'm sometimes scared going there because I have to get up early. So they are happy. They
Okay.
have,
Nice,
taken it very nicely.
nice, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing this that with us. So, as a medical student, you started your Krishna consciousness also. So, how did you prioritize your study and your sadhana also, Prabhu? Like chanting and reading, and also your book means like your materially MBBS reading also, the classes also.
Yeah, for medical students, it is very difficult. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, many of the people, they don't, venture into medical preaching. But somehow, Gaurang Prabhu, by his mercy, started, and he also hooked devotees by prasad only. I'll tell you how this preaching started in JJ. Gaurang Prabhu tells this always. You may be knowing Yugavtar Prabhu, right? He would give classes for Bhakti Sanga also. Yugavtar Prabhu, the famous, he does lots of drama and everything. So he is my 10 years senior from JJ. So then when Gaurang Prabhu started, and he told, if you will start chanting, then will get prasad for you from temple. So every day, just अरे प्रसाद लेना है तो chanting करना पड़ेगा. So Gaurang Prabhu would arrange for prasad lunch from temple to be delivered for only two students in JJ Medical College that time. One was Yugavtar Prabhu, his name was Yuvraj Bhosle. Other was Sankar Sawant. He's like leading hair transplant surgeon now here. So that's how he started preaching. And then slowly students started coming, they became devotees. So that's how the parampara is going on. So to make devotee students, medical students devotees, it is really difficult. because they get into all those studies and they have another distractions, and now the distractions are at different level altogether with social media and all that. But somehow, when I was there, I had good friends in my college, in my batch. We had around 4 or 5 devotees, very dedicated, very committed. And whatever may happen, we would study, we would chant, and go for exams. So even during university exams, we would chant our 2 hours of chanting, 16 rounds, and then we would go for exam. That somehow, seeing that association, we got that, conviction and determination. Ki this is not an option only. ये तो करना ही है, chanting करके ही जाना है. So that's how, things became easy when we saw devotees doing it. That's how we, get inspired. Otherwise, ekaki amara nahi paye bolo harinama sankirtane, who are we to practice? It is very difficult, especially in the medical college. So that's how we could continue, our practice of bhakti consistently. So I can say it was all, I can say it was all the effect of association. Nothing from my side, but it was association that transformed.
Association and prasadam, Prabhu. You should say.
Yes. Prasad is by default. There is no need to say about
Of course,
that.
yes, Prabhu. If you take even me also, if they say prasad, okay, I will come. I will be the first person to go.
Yeah. But let me tell you, apart from programs, prasad was a big tapasya many times, because it was not so easy to get prasad on a regular basis. But Gaurang Prabhu, he had arranged somebody, and sometimes he would, send from temple. And we had a small place. We had employed a person, a devotee. He would cook, and sometimes we were told, "Arey, cook is not there. He has gone home." So all the students, they would go and they would cut sabji. We would cook, and that's how we came together, by serving together. So it was a wonderful experience. That's what inspired.
Very well. Very nice to hear, Prabhu. So you got nice service also at that point of time. So, and in this process of Krishna consciousness, what do you feel that the most important quality that a devotee must have?
What I feel is consistency in the practice of chanting, and following the instructions of the superiors, whoever they may be. You are 1 year senior, 2 year senior. Somehow we, just by seeing others, we got that simple faith that okay, Prabhuji bol rahe hain, so okay, we will do it. And consistency in the practice of sadhana, that kept us inspired, kept me inspired. Not to keep chanting in an option. Okay, today I'll not do. बाद में कर लेते हैं. I'll do tomorrow. Because that's what we have to do. We have to train our mind. Otherwise, it is very difficult to train the mind. If we are giving one thing, one day, if I'll tell my mind, okay, chalega, I'll not chant today. Anyways, it is really busy. Then the next day also mind will tell, oh, yesterday you didn't chant. So anything happened? Nothing happened. So today also don't chant. So this is the one thing which I have kept consistent. My daily practices, even in the temple, getting up in the morning. Otherwise, if late night programs and whatever. But if we say no, chalega, okay, today I can take rest. So that's how we have to train our mind. Nothing doing. So that is consistency, and actually consistency pleases the Lord. Doing the same simple things every day, we don't have to do anything miraculous. Just like the 12th canto, it is described, Markandeya Muni, he was doing the basic practices of his sadhana year after year. And that's how he became perfect. He didn't do anything, extraordinary, the same basic practices. So consistency pleases the Lord. That is the key. Consistency.
So we have to be determined in our sadhana, and we have to be consistent. So that I have to do. Yeah, that's what you said even in, sometime before also. That have to do has to be changed as like to do. So till that we
Yeah.
have to be determined and consistent in that process of sadhana. So yeah. So and you were saying
Yes.
that, and you're serving in temple with all the devotees, right, Prabhu? So in association of devotees is there are very good things that are happening so that we can sustain in this process. And there are some few things that we have while doing the service. There may be some conflicts within the devotees, right? So how do you see that, Prabhu? Do you face that, and how do you see that?
Yes, when we are serving with devotees, there will be conflicts. May not be because of ego, but
Mhm.
because of the different natures, different ways of thinking. The conflicts has to happen. If there are no conflicts happening, that means people are not thinking independently.
Mhm.
Two is two independent mindsets. Conflicts will happen in the way we do things and other person does things. But how to solve that conflict, that is important, and we should always keep this in mind. My conflict should not affect the seva of the Lord. My conflict with this devotee should not affect the mission of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And my conflict with this devotee should not spoil my relationship with this devotee. Differences of opinion are okay, understood. It has to be there. But if my relationship is spoiled, then it is, we've lost the purpose. As Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he tells a very wonderful thing. He says, how to handle the conflicts when we have some differences of opinion with some devotee, and I know that I have not done anything wrong, and this devotee has done wrong, and why I should say sorry, he should tell sorry. You know, Maharaj tells a wonderful thing. He says, when we say sorry, that does not mean we are wrong. That means we value that relationship more than being right. So that is a very, very profound statement, and it has helped me many times. When we say sorry, it is not that I'm wrong, but at present moment, relationship is more important, because ultimately we have to live with each other throughout the life serving. So that's these things, they help me in handling the conflicts in difficult situations. Just giving up our ego, putting it aside, and talking to the devotee, okay, what happened? Because every devotee has a way of perceiving things. And we may be thinking, I am right, I didn't do anything wrong. But the other devotee, he had a completely different experience. He was thinking, how is this person so selfish? He is not doing this and he is not doing that, he's not helping me. And I'm thinking, I did everything I could do. So the best thing and simple thing is just approach a devotee and ask him, what is the problem? Can you please share what is troubling you? So that's how, seva, when we have conflicts with devotees, just keeping our ego aside and talking to the devotee will solve the problem. Because most of the times, devotees, they come with a very genuine mindset. It was
Yes.
not the early days in India where people would come to ISKCON thinking, I would go to America if I join ISKCON. So, no, it is not the case now. Especially in our temple here, we have very educated people, and they all have come with a very genuine desire to serve. So we have to keep that in forefront, that if this devotee is having some differences of opinion, and he is having some ill feelings, or he is not happy with me, there should be something which is happening in the background. Try to find out that. So for that, I have to just go and humble and ask what happened. Can you please share? So that's how we can solve the conflicts. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So, but even going and asking that also, Prabhu, somewhere that false ego comes inside us. Right? So,
Yeah,
why
it's
I
very
have to go
difficult.
and ask? So, it's like that. So, how
That's
to
what
get
we have
rid of that?
to always remember this one statement. Ultimately, we have to help each other. Every devotee around me, Gauranga tells this statement. Every devotee around us has the capacity to elevate my consciousness or degrade it just by their thoughts. What other devotees are thinking about me? Are they happy with me? Are they uh, appreciating the way I am serving? If not, what is the use of all the services? My
Correct.
services are not pleasing devotees. Then what is the use of serving? What is the use of holding on to my ways of working? So when we have these things in our consciousness, then we can just keep our ego aside and talk to that devotee, even though that devotee is a very junior devotee to me. Still, he is a devotee. That is first thing. Junior, senior, that is different. If somebody is offended, then we will suffer. Then doesn't matter whether we are wrong or right. Vaishnavism, Maharaj says, Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, Vaishnavism goes beyond right and wrong. So it is not about being right and wrong. It is about, pleasing devotees. So when we hear such things regularly, then we can genuinely keep our ego aside, although it is not so easy sometimes, but we have to do it if we want to maintain relationships. Otherwise, staying in the temple, seeing each other and not talking to that devotee, at least I can't handle that. So better to just go and talk to that devotee. What happened? Why are you behaving in this way? I have done something which is bothering you. It just happened few months back with me. One devotee, whatever I would tell him, and he would just behave in a very opposite, different way. And one night it was like small thing, and he became really angry.
Oh,
So I thought this is not the only thing. It is like the last straw that broke the camel's back. There must be something which is bothering him. So I just went to him. He was like very 3 4 years, after me. He joined temple. So, but still, I was calling him and he was not picking up phone. Then I messaged him and again, and then after 1 hour, he just picked up and he said, uh, "I don't want to talk to you now." And somehow I said, "No, no, I'm not. I'll not sleep till you talk to me." So then somehow he said, "Okay, I'm coming." He was really upset with me, and he had gone for a walk on the Marine Drive. We have our temple is just close by on the sea beach. He came back and we were talking for 1 hour. That is like 11:30 in the night. And he was telling me what I did, which he felt bad. I was thinking, oh, I don't even know that this thing affected him. So it was like heart to heart, conversation. And since then on, my relationship with that devotee is very wonderful. So otherwise, if I would have, just said, okay, anyways, I have nothing to do with this person. He is junior to me, and why I should say sorry, then things would have went on, but it would have been a difficult situation. So that's how to keep aside ego means we have to see a bigger picture. Ultimately, we have to serve together to please Prabhupada, and every devotee has the capacity to increase or decrease my consciousness. So that is very, very important. Hare
yes,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Actually, it's a nice lesson for me also. I should also do this. Actually, to so to whomever whom I'm not talking or who where they are not means like maybe they are also upset. So I should go. So this is a nice lesson for me actually. So what you said. So Prabhuji, so for the neophytes in Krishna consciousness, what do you like to say, Prabhu? Neophytes and also the youth, mainly the youths, they don't take up into Krishna consciousness, right? So maybe the parents are devotees, or maybe means it be either way, right? Maybe the parents or the children. So in that case, they will face some problems, right? So they will not mainly for the youths, they will not take it. Whether we say when we go and say to them that these are the things it's told in the scriptures, they say that it's just concoction, it's just some fanaticism. So it's just like a story. So then how we cannot explain to them more than that. So how to handle so those children problem? So when we go and say just to chant at least one time, just to say Hare Krishna, they don't mind it. So no, why I have to say? So they say like that. So how to handle those kind of kids problem? Means like the youths.
Yeah, since last 15 years, I am just taking care of the youth preaching here.
Mhm.
So I know how they are. Since 2010, I have joined 11, 12. Most of the Indian youth, they are not philosophical minded.
Mhm.
And what of Indian youth? Anyone. In some time back, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, he was presenting, he was giving a class, and he said, out of 100% of the people who come, 94% are not interested in philosophical discussions. They come because of Artho, Artharthi, and Jigyasu.
Yes.
They are distressed, they want some material benefits. And the same applies to youth also. There are youth who are really philosophical minded. And for them, we should know the philosophy very, very systematically. And there is no dearth of philosophical understanding in Krishna consciousness. Everything can be presented very scientifically. And that is what we do in our presentations. When we present things in a very scientific way, why we should read scriptures, what is the importance, are they myth or are they real, why I should believe in God. So when we present things in a scientific way, the youth, they may not be able to appreciate everything, but at least they get this impression that he knows. He knows what he's speaking. I am not able to understand, but he knows. So they will develop some appreciation. They will not just move aside spirituality as a sentimental thing. But as it is said, preaching begins when class ends. There is no substitute for one-to-one cultivation. So if you want to preach to the youth, we have to develop relationship with them at a personal level, take care of their lives. Otherwise, the condition of the youth is really bad. The way they are getting into addictions and all the wrong things, it is really a sad situation in India here. But there are good people, there are still pious youth. Especially after COVID, we are seeing a huge influx of youth coming to our temples. In huge numbers, they come every day. So what we have to do is just connect to them, find interested people. As Radhesham Prabhu, he says, rather than creating interest in people, find interested people. That is Prabhuji's formula. It is very difficult to create interest in people, but there are hundreds and lakhs of people who are still interested, who are pious. Find them. And in the course of taking care of them, you will generate interest in some other people also. But we need to reach out. Youth needs help. Otherwise, situation is really bad. Whatever we
Yes.
would hear in Western worlds, it has come to India. Everything is happening here. And so wherever we are, we need to connect to people. And youth means we need to give them personal attention. At the same time, no compromise in philosophy. The preacher should be equipped with the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. It is not about sentimental way of telling them they will not chant. Just they'll come, they'll chant and dance, then they'll go. They'll never take to it. So we have to present systematically. At the same time, take care of them at a personal level. That works. Hare Krishna.
So
Thank you.
scientifically, when we present, then they will take. Yes, Prabhu. That I have found in many children also. So, so as you said, the preacher has to be very swift in all the shastras philosophically, so that they can reply to the questions. Actually, the questions which they ask, it's really very bewildering. Like how they do think like this and all. So it's like that. So as you said, so for that we need a very strong preacher like
Yes,
Radhesham.
yes. Because children, they have hundreds of questions. And for a parent, it looks all bewildering because they don't have answers. So they say, don't ask questions, just do whatever I'm telling.
Yeah,
And they
correct,
will
correct.
do. But after they grow up, after 15, they will not do that.
Yes.
As Chanakya says, लालयेत पंचवर्षाणि दशवर्षाणि ताडयेत प्राप्ते तु षोडश वर्षे पुत्र मित्रवदाचरेत. He says till 5 years, please give all the love. 6 to 15, discipline the child. After 15, you can't do anything. You have to just make friends with the child. So if we tell systematically, scientifically, people will really, youth will really appreciate it. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
And whom you derive inspiration in Bhakti, Prabhu. So, for all your classes and throughout your journey in Krishna consciousness, whom you feel that you have got inspiration from?
Yeah, I feel I get lots of inspiration hearing Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my spiritual master. And of course, Gaurang Prabhu, because I'm hearing him since beginning of my Krishna consciousness. So I like to hear him. I like to, and people, whenever I speak, people who tell, "Tum Gaurang Prabhu jaisa bol rahe." Somehow that thing has gone in the way I speak. People tell, I say
Okay.
yes. Yeah, I have heard from him only, so it has gone in. So I like to hear, and of course, regarding philosophy, I read Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's, classes, articles. That has given me a very, very solid foundation, philosophical understanding. And of course, in our temple, we have very, very wonderful senior Vaishnavas, devotees here. Shyamananda Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Vraj Bihari Prabhu. They are like amazing. So whatever we are, whatever I'm speaking, nothing is mine. Just that my fortune is I am in a place which is full of wonderful senior Vaishnavas. And we are basking in the sunshine of the association of devotees. That's it. Nothing mine. So that is my fortune. So I'm just taking
So,
that advantage.
yeah. So how, like, how you came into Bhakti Sanga, Prabhu? And what do you feel about
Uh,
Bhakti Sanga? Is there anything you want to improve in Bhakti Sanga?
Actually, Yugatar Prabhu, he would take classes, I think. And then one day he told me that, I am not so much interested in giving classes now. Will you give? That was like, I think, 1 year back or say something. So I said, okay, once in a month is not a problem, or once in a while is not a problem. So that's how I started speaking, because speaking Bhagavatam was like not a difficult thing. So that's how I started speaking to Bhakti Sangha. And when I see so many devotees joining in the morning from their time from US and all the other countries, it is really amazing, inspiring. And I've given, some of the links to some few devotees, this Bhakti Sangha link to some devotees. And they are really inspired when they hear many other speakers and he attend the japa sessions. It is really inspiring to see so many devotees chanting together, sharing, hearing, that too every day. So it was a really wonderful experience for anyone who joins this. So I'm grateful that for the opportunity to serve here. So, yes, thank you for
What do you
tolerating
feel?
me for.
Anything to improve on Bhakti Sangha, Prabhu? You want? You have anything to say to improve in Bhakti Sangha?
Nothing is coming to the mind as of now. All of you are doing wonderful, great services. We are taking out, organizing, taking out time, and every day I think arranging speaker is a big tapasya. And the moment somebody says, "Oh, I can't give class. Sorry, something has come up." I'm sure this must be happening regularly or sometimes for sure, right? And one time I gave one class like that. One devotee was giving and he said, "Arey, I can't give and can you please give?" I said, "Last week only I spoke." So to arrange, and do all these things, it is a great service all of you are doing because devotees can't get to attend japa together and hearing classes together. That too, so many wonderful souls they come, very senior devotees they come. So very, very, very wonderful, commendable services you all are doing. Thank you very much. Grateful for all of you. Hare Krishna. Please continue.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your association also on Bhakti Sangha. We are also really very grateful to have your association here, Prabhu. And we really relish your class in this Bhakti Sangha. And that's why we got you as a special interview today in this call for Bhakti Sangha newsletter, Prabhu. So, and yes, we on the behalf of Bhakti Sangha devotees, I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving us your valuable time and association today and coming to give this interview, Prabhu. Mancha kalpatripasya kripa sindhuteva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much once again, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. It's actually speakers like you who are encouraging us, Prabhu. And we are really very fortunate to get all your association, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, and all the devotees for giving this opportunity to serve here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So I shall